Hello all, welcome back to Books from a Virgo. I'm Joey, and today I am filming a video for my first original tag. My first original tag video will be the high school book tag. Recently I found out about the university book tag from one of my favorite booktubers. I'll link his channel down below. And I was like, we should make one of these for high school booktubers because there are getting to be more and more of us. I am one of the more recent ones because I just joined this year, but there are several who I will link some of my favorites down in the description below. If you want to check out their channels, a chapter from Aisha, Insane Reader, I'm really talking to you guys because I adore your channels so much. I have a few books that I am going to share for these questions, which are loosely based around a typical high school experience. I can't say that they're my high school experience because being a book nerd, I'm very much an introvert. I do not go to parties. I stay inside. And also my high school is different from a lot in that there's not really a lot of alcohol being done. It's more just drugs and sex. So, oh well, what can we say? Every high school has its vice, right? Okay, let's get into the tag. The first question is, first day, a book that you read at the beginning or near the beginning of high school. And for me, that is Pachinko by Min-Jin Lee. This is one of my favorite adult books. I shared about it in my booktube newbie tag, and I do think that this is a wonderful, wonderful book about a family and their story during the Japanese occupation in Korea, and they moved to Japan, so it shows their family kind of exodus in a way to another country and how they have to survive with the tensions between the nationalism that is in Japan and Korean nationalism. It's just a very interesting story, but triggers for suicide, a lot of other things that I can't remember, but there's definitely a lot of described sex and thoughts of self-harm and depression, so it deals with a lot of stuff. This is not a YA book, obviously, it's an adult book. It is, I love this book so much. The Korean part of me is in love with this book. I mean, all parts of me are in love with this book, but I feel a special connection to it considering that I am part Korean. I know, I've mentioned this many times and people probably think I'm lying, but I'm not lying. I am part Korean, so please, take my word for it. You can go interview my grandmother. Hopefully I'll bring her on my channel one time, and then you'll get to talk to her. The next question is, required reading. A book that you really enjoyed that was required reading. And for me, that is The Crucible by Arthur Miller. I love this play so much. It follows the Salem witch trials, although it's kind of a little bit dramatized. I mean, obviously it's a play. It fictionalizes the Salem witch trials a little bit, but it's very, very well written, and it does make you think and make you go, wow. So, if you haven't read this book, check it out because it is a very good classic, Penguin Classics. And I did read it for school and I thoroughly enjoyed it. The next one is Freshman Trash Day, a book that you thought was trash, and for me, that is Moby Dick by Herman Melville. I hate this book so much. I originally gave it 2 stars, as you can see in my rating system video, but I'm actually giving it 1 star because this book is so boring. I'm sorry, if you enjoy this book and you think it's a great portrayal of American romanticism, go ahead, you do you, but I hate this book. And some people maybe don't say that books are trash because some people like them. And I would say that for some books, like The Fangirl Life, I don't like that book, but, some people may relate to it, and that's fine, that they can do that. But this book, it's just trying to be deep, and it's really not, and it just is so unnecessary, and it's so badly written. The point of view is so skewed, the tense, present tense, past tense, that's skewed. I have no idea what is going on with this book at all, and that is a problem, so Ishmael, you can do better. Herman Melville, you can do better. Next question is girlfriend, boyfriend. A bookish crush that you have or have had. And for me, that is Alexander Morozova from the Grisha trilogy. I'm holding up Ruin and Rising, which is the 3rd book in this series, because you don't really meet him until the 3rd book, kind of. I'm not really going to talk much about him because that's kind of spoilers, but I will say that this guy, he has my heart and soul. I love him. I love him so much. One of my first bookish boyfriends, but I'm going to make a whole video on that. He's very angsty and I love that. Next question. Essays. A book over 600 pages that you really enjoyed. And for me, that's Warstorm by Victoria Aveyard. Look at this baby. 662 long-ass pages. Yeah, that's right. Warstorm is a YA book that is long. What? Who heard of that? Oh my god. We don't do that in this house. Yeah, we do. Most fantasy books that are really long are part of the adult genre, which is something I'm trying to get into, but this is a YA book that is over 600 pages, and this is the conclusion to the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. I think this is my favorite book in the series. It might be the first book, but the middle two books are like, but I really love this book, because I just find that all the characters are very interesting, except for Cal. Cal can go die. I hate Cal. I hate Cal so much. Underage Drinking, a book that you secretly enjoy, and that is The Selection by Kiera Cass. This book. Everyone likes to hate on this book, and I like to hate on this book too. But unfortunately, it is all something that we secretly enjoy. It is one of those trash candy books that you read, and then you're like, why did I waste my time reading this series? I'll be talking to my friends in real life, and I'll be like, oh my god, The Selection is so terrible, and they'll be like, but you read till the end, didn't you? Yeah, I did. Okay, but yes, I secretly enjoyed this series, but at the same time, I thought it was really trashy and boring. It's like a drug, almost. I mean, everything's a drug. Sugar's a drug. Did you know that? If you don't know that, please go research it. It's very important. APs, a book that was daunting to read. That is Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. This edition is 1,222 tiny worded pages. I know that the Goodreads edition has over 1,400 pages, but this one has tiny words. Look at this. And the pages are thin. That's why you can't tell that this book is thick. You would think Warstorm's thicker than this, but the pages are so thin I've ripped it. And that's why I've had to tape a few of them. Unfortunately, I did this a long time ago, so I taped it with ugly masking tape. Terrible, I know. Kill me now. I did this to a 1931 classic. Why did I do that? But now if I tear it off, it's gonna rip the book, so whatever. But yeah, this book was so daunting, and I finally finished it last month. You can watch that in my March wrap-up, so go watch. Clubs, a book you've read for a book club that you really enjoyed. And for me, that is The Prince and the Dressmaker by Jen Wang. This is a graphic novel that follows a prince who likes to wear dresses, and he hires this girl to secretly make dresses for him, and then they develop a relationship, and it's really cute. I do love this book mainly for the dresses. I don't like graphic novels that much, and the story didn't really have that much of a plot. I would have rated it 3 stars, but 4 stars, excuse me. I do love, look at this. Look at this beautiful drag queen. I mean, he's not a drag queen, but he does drag, so he's so beautiful. Look at this boy. Look at my sweet son. I love this book so much. You should read this book. It's really pretty. Pretty. Read it just to see all the dresses, okay? The final challenge is Graduation, a book or book series that you feel accomplished after reading. And this is definitely based off of the university's book tag, directly taken from it. And that is, for me, the Earth Children series by Jean M. I cannot pronounce that name. I love this series, but at the same time, I'm honestly like, what is going on with these characters? Why are they so dumb? Isla, why are you so dumb? Why do you keep doing this stupid thing that people keep telling you not to do that I'm not going to say because it's spoilers? Mainly the first book I felt really accomplished after reading this. I read this book in 6th grade. It's a full-on adult book, and it's really long, and it covers a lot of topics that creators probably shouldn't be reading. But I read this book, and I felt so accomplished after, I read this super long classic. I think it's a classic, right? It's a modern classic or something, like Harry Potter. But it's very iconic in its own right, I would say, and definitely go check it out if you like prehistoric times or paleontology or any sort of that kind of stuff, but be warned for a rape trigger. Yes, the first book has rape, and the rest of the books have explicit sex, so I read this whole series in 6th grade. Definitely after finishing the whole series, which would total probably over 3,000 or 4,000, maybe even 5,000 pages. It's a super long series. Each book is very, very long. I think the longest book in this series is definitely way over 1,000 pages. But I might be wrong, because it was a long time ago that I read it. But I remember, the middle book, I think it was called Plains of Passage, was this huge. I felt so proud of it. That is it for this tag. I hope you enjoyed. I welcome anybody to do this tag. You don't have to be a high schooler to do it, although it probably will be more fun if you have already completed high school. So if there's If you happen to be in middle school and you're watching this video, then maybe you want to wait. But I mean, the questions aren't explicitly about high school. You just have to have a book that was required reading, but it doesn't have to be from high school. But the rest of the books, they don't have to be related to any sort of schooling at all. So anyone can do this tag, but I will tag Aisha from a chapter from Aisha. Of course, I totally forgot. Reed from Reed Reads. You're in high school, right? You're a senior, right? I think. So I'm tagging you. I'm also tagging Iris from Books with Iris, although I don't know what exactly you're in. You could be in college, you could be in middle school, you could be in high school. I don't really know because you haven't mentioned. I'm tagging you. I am also tagging Sasha from The Wild Sasha, Jocelyn from Jocelyn Reads, Kaylin from Kaylin's Book Nook, Ishi from Ishi Time, Natalie from One Sleepy Reader, Coco from Miss Coco Chen, Isabella from Throne of Pages, and why not tag one big booktuber for the hell of it? I'm going to tag Emma from Emma Books. Emma, if you're watching this, please know that I recently watched your video on how big booktubers get a lot of hate. Oh, I'm sorry, that was your booktube real talk tag. Yeah, I've seen that going around a lot, and I thought I'd watch yours. And I really appreciate what you said about big booktubers and how much hate they get, and I really want to tell you that I totally support you. I love your channel. I really love it. So if you're watching this, if you somehow see my tag, I love you, and you're getting tagged for this video. I know that most of you aren't in high school, but it's open to everyone, as I said before. So feel free to do this tag, and please do it so that it will spread, because this is my first original tag video. I really hope you like it, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on my channel. Bye-bye.